We're going to bring everything together now with how we should respond to a high threat environment where we have multiple threats and we're going to be in a sustained fight, not just a shooting that's going to be over in a few seconds. So we're going to bring everything together with regards to mindset, understanding when we should be proactive getting into and out of position, being strong in our communication, and recognize too that if we mess up, we are going to mess up aggressively. We've got a simple break contact drill in place. What it's going to simulate is we come across some ISIL sympathizers or multiple active shooters that have some serious hardware and some crude IEDs, and we need to get as much separation away from them as possible. So we're going to go ahead and do those immediate shots through the windshield, move to the clean side of our vehicle, and then make a decision to break contact. Now, with a lot of break contact exercises like this, where you're basically doing bounding overwatch, I see a lot of hiccups with communication and guys trying to have too many Indian chiefs out there and not enough Indians. What we want to do is rehearse this to the point where we're very aware of what's taking place, so that when we look at our mindset with regards to the macro and the micro tasks, they're all coming together kind of seamlessly, so that when we do have to make a decision, when we do have to read an environment, we're not worried about things that should be happening at a subconscious level. We're not worried about certain techniques or standard operating procedures or tactics that we use because we've rehearsed them a lot with our teammates. If we make a mistake, we're going to mess up aggressively, but we want to keep in mind that we're trying to pattern this after the real world and a complex attack. So not just a simple shooting where it's over and you can stay static. This is something where you need to get space away from the enemy so that you can buy time and you can create distance so you can start making decisions. Ambush! Loading! Right contact to the rear, moving! Set! Loading! Hey, Dick, push right! Push right! Loading! Up, moving. So that was a pretty straightforward exercise, but we can see there's a lot of moving pieces to it, and there's a lot of opportunity for just normal things in the environment to throw us off and to create stress. So what was very important was being very deliberate and decisive with our movements, understanding our sectors of fire and where we're going to have security being pulled from each individual team member. Another thing too we want to consider is shot placement and accountability. If you're up close and you have that immediate threat and you need to get rounds downrange, you need to do what's necessary to engage that threat and take care of it. As you start to create distance from the target, let's think about domestic law enforcement. Every single shot that is taken must be held accountable for, so we can't just spray rounds. Just because there's no shooting that could be done doesn't mean that you stop moving. We kept moving, we kept shooting throughout this entire exercise because I think it is easier to scale back from the most aggressive mindset to something that's a little bit lesser, and you learn from there than trying to go from a less aggressive mindset and figure out what actually is appropriate for use of force. That's where we find guys that are unaware of what level of force they should use, and we see them make mistakes that could have some pretty serious consequences. So when we do exercises like this, it's very important to rehearse. Do as many dry runs as you can, go live, and there's nothing wrong with doing the same exercise over and over and over again. The same way we look at specific marksmanship tasks and we execute them with a lot of repetition so that they become almost subconscious, an exercise like this, where there's a lot of moving pieces, should be done at rote so that there is no question of what's taking place, so that you have team members that are reading the situation. If they do have tactical hiccups, they're at least on the same page because they've done it a lot in training. Again, something to think about is your communication. If everyone's trying to talk, no one is talking. It is important to talk though, to get everyone on the same page so you have command and control. But too often what we see with this kind of an exercise is guys will try to bound from one piece of terrain to the next or one vehicle to the next, and they try to make a decision at every single stop. Create distance, create separation, give yourself some breathing room, and then go ahead and make a decision from there.